Good evening, and welcome to another disambiguous episode of Diatribes on the Voice of Doom. Now here's your disgruntled and disgusted host, Voice of Doom. Alright, I'm going to keep on doing diatribes for a while because I know the end is near, and get as much in as possible before it's all over. Now, the last 2 or 3 days have gone just like I thought it would. Now, I'm wrong most of the time, and I don't know anything, but at least I admit it. But with the Charlie Kirk episode, which is probably the most world-shaking assassination in probably since 1968, because there's a lot of factors involved, and who knows what's going on. And with every major assassination, there's always disambiguousness. There's things that just don't add up, and all kinds of things. And so we never know really what's going on. But I talked to my stalwart fan, Nick, who's been watching me for years and is my only real fan besides my son. Brought up a lot of things that makes me think, and it gets me confused and stuff about, different conspiracies and different things that are going on that I can't really put my mind around too much, because it's too much. There's aliens, there's the deep state, there's the dark government ops, there's all kinds of things going on that we know nothing about. And whatever the motive was for removing Charlie Kirk will never be seen. It remains to be seen, but we'll never know, because there's too many different factions and factors and nuances involved with his shooting that, you just have to be a little bit jaundiced. You have to be a little bit cynical about what the truth is, because this seemed to be a orchestrated political assassination, and now it turns out it's done by some guy that is some Utah guy that turned lib and turned into a lefty wokester idiot and decided he was going to use his skills as a marksman to take him out with one shot. Now, I don't believe any of that, and I'm not going to believe it. And whether or not he's a martyr, he's a Lee Harvey Oswald, I don't know. And I don't want to know. I don't care. It's obvious we're done. We're not going to last. We're not going to make it to 2026 as a country. And so I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about that, but I wanted to get more stuff in before it's all over. And I will say that the fallout of people's reactions are starting to hit home for them, because it's one thing to have political opinions. I don't like Petri Dish. I don't like Schiff. I don't like Nadler. I don't like Schumer. I don't like Pelosi. I don't like any of them. But I'm not going to go out and get a weapon and take them out. That's not what I'm going to do. And people generally don't do that on the right side. But on the left side, they seem to think that democracy and human rights and civil rights are all under attack by this current administration. And so, desperate times call for desperate measures, and they're doing desperate measures. Now, I don't know how everything will play out. I think this person who was arrested will be convicted and probably sentenced to death. And that's fine. I think maybe he might have been hypnotized. I know it's my own personal little conspiracy theory, but the way he has engraved cartridges and all this other crap leads me to believe that he's a fall guy for a much bigger plot, a much bigger agenda. And it includes taking out people from all sides. So anybody that has an opinion, and anybody that's out there on the right or left, should watch their back, because they want to pit one against the other, and then the only way they can do that is to have these incidents. So the next thing that's going to happen will probably be some lefty being unkilled, undied. I don't know what they call it now. You can't use certain words. Of course not. Some lefty being killed by some righty just to keep the ball rolling. And it's getting to the point where just functioning as a society is beginning to be boring to me. I don't even want to do it anymore. Because why should I work every day to make more money in order to be obliterated? But what I will say is this: the Gen Zers, the nose rings, the tattooed artists, whatever they are chortling and celebrating and laughing at the death of a father and a husband, and someone who just wanted to have dialogue and say, let's go one-on-one and decide, people can make their own minds up about who's right about what. Now, this hate business is getting on my nerves, because hate, when I was growing up, my parents said you never hate anybody. You might not like them. You might think you disagree with them, but don't ever say hate, because hate means that you don't want to see them around. You absolutely despise their existence. And my parents taught me, don't use the word hate. And now hate is used as a dog whistle for everything. He spreaded hate, so he deserved to die. That's what the lefties and the wokester nose rings are saying. And their karmic retribution is going to be severe, and whether it happens now, in their lifetime now, or in later lifetimes, it will happen. They're not living correctly by saying he deserved to die because he spread hate. He did not spread hate. He wanted dialogue. And I bet if anybody made a point that he agreed with, he would probably admit it. But most times they didn't, because, not that he's always right, but they're always wrong. And I don't like this. He spread hate. I don't see any evidence of that. I look with my eyes. It processes from my eyes to my brain, and I process what I hear, and I go, this person might have some opinions that are a little more extreme than I adhere to, but I don't think he's a spreader of hate. And yet these lefties who espouse inclusion and diversity and equity want to obliterate anything that stands in their way. So when we talk about gaslighting, we're talking about the left wing gaslighting all of us into thinking that these people are hate mongers. And they're not. And the people that are hate mongers are the people that are saying they're hate mongers. They know nothing, and they're going to suffer lifetime after lifetime for probably eons for what they're espousing and what they're saying. I'm really sick of it. I don't want to see it anymore because I can disagree with it. I've dealt with white supremacists, real white supremacists, and I should have called them out, but I didn't because they were just ordinary people that believed a certain thing, and it's like, I'm not going to, believe what you want. But I don't want anything much to do with you. But people can have their opinions. And I can have my opinions. I see certain people and I don't want to deal with them. And it's not because I hate them as a race or a creed or a color. I just don't want to deal with them because of the way they act as people. And I think we're reaching a point where people aren't going to tolerate each other anymore. And my stalwart fan Nick and I were talking, and it was like he was saying how the right-wing people might want to fight back. And I said, if they want to fight back, they better do it big time. Nothing small like January 6th or anything like that. They got to fight back big time if they're going to get away with it. Because I don't care who's in office. I don't care if it's orangey. I don't care who. If you're a person that is on the right side and commits a crime, you're going to be crucified. So it's got to be big. And I'm not advocating massive violence, but the left wing is pushing everybody toward that. It's obvious. I don't see why you people don't get it. That the left wing has been hornswoggled and they've been duped into thinking a certain way, that certain people spread hate so they deserve to be shot. And we can't do that. And I don't think that anybody's going to heed my words. I don't think anybody's going to listen to me. So it's going to go on, and there's going to be a conflagration. And it's like, well, that's all right. This planet is a penitentiary. This planet is a torture chamber. This planet has been soaked in sin since Adam and Eve were first put into the Garden of Eden. It's absolutely hopeless. It's not going to happen. We're not going to make it. God's plan of creating human beings on this planet has failed. So God failed. So there you have it. I'm sorry to break it to you. All you people on the right and the left and in the middle, God's failed because he couldn't create a planet with human beings that would get along and have a a peaceful coexistence and have a thriving planet. We can't do it. We can't. We never have been able to. We've been at each other's throats. We've been killing each other since day one. So bring it on. I don't care if there's an atlas, whatever, out there. Come to the planet and blow the shit out of it. I don't give a crap. Blow the planet into an asteroid belt. That's what we deserve to be. And just leave it at that. I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I just wanted to do another diatribe because I know it's almost over. And anybody with a brain knows it's almost over. We're not going to make it to 2026. Watch what happens. So, I don't give a crap. I'm done. And if I shuffle off this mortal coil, it's a blessing. So, that's it. I don't have anything to say. I'm sorry. It was so stupid. But I just wanted to vent. And I'll leave it there. Goodbye.